Hello, and welcome back to The Broken Doll. And obviously, I've got a mystery doll in front of you that I won from a Salvation Army auction quite a few auctions back, and which means a few years ago, maybe about 2 years ago, 2 to 3 years. It might be more than that. I could have had her for about 5 or 6 years. I'm starting to really think about it now. When did I get her? It's been a while. She's been sitting in a shelf at the back, laying down for quite some time. So I'm going to go with at least 5 to 6 years. But anyways, let's see who she is. So we're going to, actually, I'll just leave her like that. And let's lift up and see who she is. This here is the Madame Alexander Binnie Walker. See if you can see her face here. She's got this beautiful sissy face. They seem to use, Madame Alexander used the sissy face on many of her dolls. And this here is the sissy face again. There's Sissette and there's Sissy. I have Sissette, but I would love to get my hands on a Sissy, but they're kind of on the pricey side. And but I would like to get one, and down the road sometime I will get my hands on one and let it come to you in a great way, you know, in its own natural way. But anyway, she's up for restoration, and she's got an issue where, and I went to look on eBay about this doll several times, and she can go for quite a little clip, even in some of the worst conditions. There was one that was cracked in the middle of the crotch, because she is a walking doll, and you were to hold her hands and she will walk. Now, she wants to walk just as well, but she wants to, like, the legs don't want to always move. And so she needs some work done on her before I get her totally restored. That would have to be looked at and see and maybe she will never fully walk again. I don't know. But her head was supposed to turn back and forth like a lot of the dolls did back then. And but she's a really beautiful doll, and a nice addition to your collection if you ever can get your hands on one. I paid only something like $25, and it wasn't just her, it was some other dolls as well. And she came in with a little bundle of dolls, and I wanted her so bad. I can remember seeing her up there, and I just went, oh, I want you. Because to buy one, these can go for a little clip of price. Looking on eBay alone, a lot of them go for like between $150 to $350, and she's in her original clothes except for the shoes. The only thing that's not hers is the shoes. I put those on her myself, but everything about her is original, except and also the bow up in her hair there, that doesn't go with her. Her dress is kind of on the faded side, so is her dress underneath. I'm going to put a little dress on her while I fix up this dress, because she is up for restoration and to be part of my collection. But I would like to see about getting some red dye and see about just dyeing this a little bit deeper of a red color. That would be so nice to do. And we'll leave the polka dot dress alone, but we will do this little red apron that goes on the front of her dress. So something I will be looking at down the road. I would like to get some red dye and just learn how to dye clothes. I might just wash it and put it back on her, but it is something I would like to do for her. But she's a 25-inch one. You can get her at 16 inches, and I think, don't quote me on this, but I think there was even an 18. So I think there was 16, 18, 25-inch. She's the biggest one. So that was really nice to get the biggest that there is, because, you know, I like the big babies and big dolls. The only problem is, where do you put them? And that has always been my problem. But that's okay. It's a great problem to have. But she's a slim doll, so it's not like she takes a lot of space. But you do want to display her properly, and that's the thing about her. But she's quite the cute little doll, little girl doll and everything. But made by Madame Alexander, 1953 to 1955. So she only ran for like a 2-year period, it seems like. But yeah, if you're looking for one and you want one in your collection, you might be able to pick up one really cheap if you get, like I did, you know, just, you know, all of a sudden one just comes running your way and you're like, yay, you know, but not always the case. Sometimes you got to pay the dirty little price for them, but, you know, if you want it bad enough, you don't care, you know, and you're just going, I want you, you know, because, you know, one life to live, I say, you know. But we're going to look at restoring her down the road, and I think she really needs it. You know, her hair needs it. But I want to add her to my bucket beret bucket of dolls here that are up for restoration, because if I don't, she will never get looked at. And I found her on a shelf when I was just looking for something else, and I went, oh my goodness, I forgot about you. She's just sitting on a shelf way underneath. My buggies cover her up, and I just don't see her. So once she came to sight, I had to fish her out and bring her out and let you know that I do have one of these. And if you're looking for one, they are a great addition to the collection. I would love to have a sissy doll down the road, but like I said, she runs a pretty penny. And a lot of times you got to watch out because she's jointed. What I mean by jointed, she's jointed in the knees and everything. A lot of that old plastic wants to crack and break. So you got to really look for the right sissy doll that has been really taken good care of, and you're going to pay the dollars. Now, sometimes you can forgive a little crack here or there, but once they start cracking, that plastic it's old plastic and it just wants to keep on going. So when you get yours, you're going to want to dress it and then cover her up, put her in a cabinet, something where you're not going to overdress her and stress those joints any more than what they are already, you know. So something that you might just want to pay attention to if you're to buy a sissy doll. I've noticed a lot of them. I guess there's a number 1 and a number 2. I really don't care which one I get, type of thing. Numbers don't bother me, just as long as I have a sissy doll. It's just because of the years they came out and everything. But I notice a lot in the back of the knee. There's stress in those cracked. They start to crack. So you really want to make sure you're seeing the doll in its fullness and see what you're willing to accept. Sometimes those cracks are just where they are. You might be able to put a little bit of glue and try to stop it right where it is, but that plastic is brittle, and that's what you want to watch out for. So just saying that to you, she's the same type of plastic, but I have no cracks on her except in the crotch. She does have, but I saw quite a few of them cracked in the crotch and running up their buttocks and running like the cracks just going, you know. So you can see the stress that has that has been put on the doll over the years. But again, like I say, these are wonderful dolls if you can get your hands. I'm going to try to make her walk. So I'm going to put her so you see her feet moving, and then we'll put it up until maybe you can see her head moving. So let's just see if we can get her to walk. See, it's this lady here that doesn't want to do it. But she can. Come on, girl. You can do her. You can do her. Oh, could you see that? Darn it. Okay, let's try that again. Let's do it again, girl. You gotta get the show on. You gotta walk. There we go. So she does want to walk. You gotta just encourage her all the way. Just don't go over the edge, girl. There we go. Yeah. So the legs do want to move. Now let's look at the head as she walks now. Okay, so if you get her head here, you'll be able to see her head does want to turn as she walks. A lot of the saucy walkers did that too. Their heads turn, their eyes turn. Now her eyes don't move. They stay stationary, where the saucy walkers, their eyes would go float. Ideal made the saucy walker, and so did Pedigree from England. And they made their own saucy walkers, and their eyes go one to one, flirty eyes to the side, to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, as she was walking. Her, no, she has stationary eyes. Now this is just a little bit of dirt across there. She had it on this eye, and all I did was wipe it off, and it comes right off. It's like a mold. And that came with her, not with me. I've not touched her since I've owned her. So she needs some work done to her. But other than that, she doesn't smell. There's nothing about her otherwise, just those eyes. And that's very typical to see that on plastic eyes of that time frame and how old she's getting. So she's an old girl. So she's up in her 70s now. So that being said, we got to respect the age and respect the plastic and respect everything about her. But anyways, thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this, seeing her. She's a wonderful doll. Like I said, Madame Alexander made some wonderful dolls. And yes, so anyways, I hope you enjoy seeing her. And like I said, if you see one along the way, pick her up if she's in good condition. You know, if it's just a cracked crotch, you can always fix that with some glue and a clamp, you know. So anyways, thanks for joining me, and we'll be talking to you again really soon. And give me a thumbs up if you like what you just saw here tonight, and a comment if you do. And tell me maybe you got one or you want one or whatever. I never wanted one till I saw her. I didn't know she existed. So there is a Binnie and a Winnie. This is the Binnie. So I'm more than sure this is the Binnie. All right. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.